What's up, everybody? It's Taylor Twellman from Major League Soccer and Apple TV. Matchday 15 put a bow on what was an insane rivalry week. Toronto bagged 5 goals against their rivals from Quebec, led by Bernardeschi and his hat-trick. How about the Columbus Crew? They end their 7-game winless streak thanks to a couple of goals during the week from Diego Rossi, his first in Major League Soccer play this year. And after losing their 4 straight at home Wednesday night, the Philadelphia Union with the Raccoon Intruder, unbelievable, by the way, 120 plus minutes this guy was on the field. They snapped their 6-game winless streak on Saturday against the Revs. Win and out, call New England when you need 3 points. That's about all they have going for them in 2024. And don't forget about the heroics. Leonardo Campana to save Messi and Miami at home with some ugly defending from DC United in the dying moments of the game. 3 points still for Inter Miami at home. But without further ado, Twellman's takes. Only 3 times in MLS have the Supporter Shield winners gone back-to-back. And the last time that happened, Bruce Arena with the Galaxy, 2010, 2011, when it was a completely different league than now. 18 teams, about 35% less spending across the board from all MLS teams, which is why I bring up this point. FC Cincinnati is capable of doing that this year. They were brilliant in 2023. But they had 2 major gaffes in their biggest tournament moments at home. Up 2-0 to both Miami in the Open Cup, Columbus in the Eastern Conference Final. They lose both games. They lose 5 starters after the postseason's over. And they're on pace to be better than 2023? How's this possible? They sell Brandon Vasquez for $8 million, and while the goals haven't been aplenty, their signing of the season came from the best free agent on the market in Miles Robinson. He's been brilliant. They've been brilliant. They've only given up 11 goals for the best defense in the league. Actually, it's 10, considering Miazga scored an own goal that I've never seen before in my life. Oh, yeah. And they have reigning MVP, Luciano Acosta, who, after Saturday night's 6th straight win, he's accounted for 63% of their goals with either a goal or an assist. That is the definition of valuable. Now, they have a game in hand on Inter Miami, and more than likely, when Inter Miami travel to Cincinnati in July, Messi won't be there. How good was the Rocky Mountain Cup between Real Salt Lake and the Colorado Rapids Saturday night? An 8-goal thriller that saw Colorado lose a 2-0 lead on the road in dramatic fashion. Now, Real Salt Lake unbeaten in their last 10, with 7 of those being wins. And it's not all Chicho Arango. I mean, he does have 13 goals, 8 assists, only really being bested by Lionel Messi, which is kind of crazy. But if Luna, Gomez, and the rest of the attack show up with the right combinations to support Arango, who's to say they won't give the Supporter Shield run a run for their money? And speaking of money, good on Real Salt Lake ownership for putting money into a team that Pablo Mastroianni has built and can get a little bit further than just the playoffs in the last 3 years. The only manager in the West to do so. And what will they do this summer? Because there's no way they don't look at this run right now and want to double down. This week, the Major League Soccer All-Star Game in 2025 was announced that it will be in Austin. And earlier this season, they doubled down on Josh Wolff. He won 10 games last year, missed the playoffs after going all the way to the Western Conference Final in 2022, ultimately losing to the champions, LAFC. Was it injuries? Was it the lack of a sporting director to fix the roster issues before it was too late? Whatever the reason may be, there were a lot of eyeballs on how long Wolff would get, and while it took until March 31st to get their first win, they've now won 6 of the last 9, and 5 of those at home. One of the best atmospheres in this league. Josh Wolff knew he had to get things right at Q2 Stadium. Now, they won only 8 games at home in 2022, and they finished 2nd in the West. If they stay consistent at Q2 in an inconsistent Western Conference, could we be talking about Austin at the end of the year? And it's crazy to think that the most balanced roster Atlanta United have had since 2019, and they're winless in their last 9 games. Now, Giakoumakis and company, they have to get it right at home. Will they be healthy? He and Almada missed their last game because Denis Bouanga and LAFC come to town having scored 2+ goals in 8 of their last 9 games, the same span that Atlanta's been winless. 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time, MLS Countdown gets you ready for Atlanta United and LAFC at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. Also on Offside on Apple Podcasts, I catch up with the all-time leading goal scorer of the Nashville Predators in the NHL, Philip Forsberg, his love for the sport of soccer, Major League Soccer, and Nashville, and what is the first story he would tell his newborn about playing against Sidney Crosby in the Stanley Cup.